Hello and welcome to the Jimmy Star Show.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. This is Tony Zierra.
Hey, Tony, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
We are so freaking fabulous, it's not even funny. One reason we're fabulous is because you're on the phone, dude. We're totally excited.
Seriously.
Oh, that's really good. That's really good. Should I be on speakerphone here, or does that work for you?
No. Stay how you are now, because we can hear you.
Good. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so welcome to the Jimmy Star Show. Let me introduce you. First of all, how do we pronounce your last name?
Zierra.
Okay, so we have Tony Zierra on the phone, everybody. He is the director, producer, writer, I guess?
Filmmaker.
Writing. Okay. Well, he kind of had to have an idea of My Big Break. It's one of the coolest documentaries about Hollywood that you will ever see. Before we get started, let me introduce you to my co-host, starting off with the diva of cool, Drew Albright.
Tony, I totally recognize your voice from the movie. I like that a lot. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Then we have the man behind the boards, Mr. Chad Murphy.
Yo, Tony.
Hey, hello. How are you?
I threw him off there.
He said, how are you, Chad? You have to respond.
I am awesome.
Okay, great.
And I'm Jimmy Star. We want to welcome you to the Jimmy Star Show and have you give a shout-out to everybody in the chat room and then also give a shout-out to Audrey. You there?
Hello.
Yeah, say hey to everybody in the chat room, Tony.
Hello, chat room people.
There you go. And then we need a special shout-out to Audrey.
Hello, Audrey.
There you go. In case you don't know who Audrey is, I don't know how often you talk with Chad, but Audrey is the #1 Chad Lindberg fan in the world.
Sure, absolutely.
And so she's very excited that Chad Lindberg and you are on the show. She's been promoting it a lot, and I even tweeted to her yesterday saying, "Oh, you have to see My Big Break. You're going to love it because you can see Chad Lindberg's ass." And she told me she had already seen it and she loved it.
You like that?
Yeah, so she liked that.
Cool.
So I want to congratulate you. I know that this has been a many years in the making project, a very difficult project, actually, to put it all together. Oh, hang on a second, you guys. Chad's calling me. Talk to Tony. Hey, dude.
There he is.
Oh, okay. I'm talking to you, Tony,
you're on the wrong
and Jimmy Star
phone.
is talking to Chad on his cell phone. Well,
Okay, good. Yeah, I did. No, I'm trying to pick up the voice, so that's good. Thank you for letting me know.
Yes. Okay. So I actually got a chance to see My Big Break, and I saw it last week, and I was literally blown away by this film. It's a documentary, and I was like really amazed by, one, the length of time it took to produce, two, all the processes this film went through, and three, all the amazing raw and personal things you were able to capture on film. So maybe as we get started, you should just give an overview of what you want people to know about the film so we don't give away too much.
Sure. Absolutely. Do you want me to do it now?
Yeah.
Hang on one sec, because Chad's getting ready to call,
Okay.
and that
Okay.
way he can hear it. That way he can actually hear it, and it'll be fun because I think he's getting ready to call. I gave him the number, and Audrey wrote, "No, you told me." No, you told it. Damn it. Poor of me. You're awesome. Thanks for the shout out. Okay. She didn't want me to tell everybody that she likes Chad's ass. Is he calling now? All right. Hello and welcome to the Jimmy Star Show.
Hello.
What's up, Chad Lindberg? What's up, my brother? How you doing?
What is going on, everybody?
Everybody's good. Just to let you know, Tony's on the line. Say hello.
Hello.
Please.
How are you?
I'm great, Tony.
Now chat for a while, you guys.
That's so funny. Chad, before we get started, let me just reintroduce you to everybody. We got the diva of cool, Drew Albright.
Chad, welcome back. What's happening?
Stan sends his regards.
Yeah, I couldn't hear that one.
Yeah.
Sven, he sends his regards.
Oh, Sven.
Okay, there you go. Then we got the man behind the boards, Mr. Chad Murphy.
Chad, how are we doing?
What's up, Chad?
I'm Jimmy Star. We want to welcome you back along with Tony and Chad. Just say hey to everybody in the chat room.
Hey, everybody in the chat room.
Okay, and then say hi to Audrey.
Hi, Audrey. Thanks for listening, as always. Audrey's hardcore.
Yeah, Audrey's hardcore. I was tweeting with her yesterday. Did you see my tweets?
I did.
Okay, good. She's all embarrassed about it all, but we want everybody. First of all, so Chad and Tony are both on here because Chad is one of the participants in this documentary called My Big Break, of which, if you guys want to find out more about it, you can go to mybigbreakmovie.com. Tony is the actual filmmaker who's also in the film a lot, so you get to see him and you hear him throughout the whole thing. So if you watch the film, you definitely recognize his voice. And Tony was getting ready to tell us a little bit about the film, something that Drew said to him when I was on the phone with you. So I don't know what it is.
Just to give the audience a recap of the film, what he wants to reveal about it, so we don't reveal too much.
Okay, the only thing I'm revealing is that all these Hollywood stars that are in this movie, which are Brad Rowe, Wes Bentley, Chad Lindberg, Greg Fawcett, and Tony, and you get to see most of them naked a whole bunch. So anybody who wants to see them naked should check this movie out. And then go ahead, Tony. You tell us whatever you think we should know.
This is a project that started about 97. It took over 10 years. It was really a project about, I was trying to get a film going in LA, and as we all know, it's very difficult. And I was living with 4 struggling actors at the time. We were all trying to make it in Hollywood, and I just decided to pick up my camera and just filmed every single day and night. Almost. And of them trying to make it in town, and luckily 3 started to work. And 3 made it out of, outside of, from Greg. And I just basically, you see before, during, and after, and the effects of fame in Hollywood.
It's awesome.
Thank you.
I think everybody should actually see it. I think it was one of the questions I had though is how did you guys all meet to be living in that house in the first place? I didn't really
It was just meant to be. I mean, it was just God, I don't even know how to. Greg was in there first with some other guy, and then I came in, took one of the rooms, and then the other guys kind of filtered out. Greg hung around, and then Tony came in, and then Tony was on our couch, and then Brad came in, and then Wes was the last to arrive, and then once Wes got there, I mean, everything just kind of exploded into this amazing time, which you see in the movie.
Actually, too, we want to reiterate this is a movie. This is a documentary. You guys were not famous when you all moved into this house. Then you guys move in this house, and Tony starts filming everything, and all of a sudden, you're like Chad Lindberg, October Sky, and Fast and the Furious, and Wes Bentley from American Beauty, and Brad Rowe from Billy's Hollywood Screen Kiss, which was a great movie, by the way.
Yeah.
And then and Greg, who was struggling the whole time, who I guess out of the 4 is the only one who never became a mainstream home, star. Who's now? I don't know if we're supposed to say what happens to him, but if you guys, here's when you guys want to know what happens to him, you got to watch the movie. How do people watch this?
How do they watch it?
Yeah.
How do they watch the movie? They could the DVD. Obviously, I skipped it. If I'm following your points, I'm sure. I'm sorry if I didn't catch it, but yeah.
Where do they go to buy it? Where do they go to buy it or download it or watch it?
It's on Amazon. It's on our website, mybigbreakmovie.com, and you also could download it from Distrify or watch it live instantly on Distrify, also on our website. So there's lots of options on mybigbreakmovie.com.
Yeah, so everybody needs to go to My Big Break if you really want to kind of have an inside scoop of Hollywood, and I mean this is super amazing because it's not these are people who went to Hollywood to become actors, and then all of a sudden they're in some movie that you've never heard of that nobody ever saw. These are all people who were in the biggest freaking movies on the damn fucking planet. And it's very cool. Watching the whole thing is very cool, and how everybody's still working in the industry one way or another. Everybody knows Chad Lindberg. He's a Jimmy Star Show favorite, and we think he's one of the coolest fuckers ever. And it's very personal. This movie's really got a lot of stuff that I bet people would have no idea about anything, and all the struggles and stuff that you guys actually had to go through to get where you're at.
Yeah, I think it's very revealing, and I think it's very honest. And if people really want to know what it's like and not watch Entertainment Tonight, Entertainment, whatever the hell the fuck it is. All these like shows that sort of like glorify fame and celebrity. You kind of get to see behind what's really like, the blood, sweat, and tears, and what fame does to relationships, what success does. You know, I mean, it's a complicated place.
Absolutely.
It was like really impressive to me too, because you did a lot of just seeing what the guys were thinking in the filming. So like in the beginning, there's these one-on-one interviews, and like, you know, Wes Bentley is like looking right in the camera, and he's telling you, you know, what he's looking to achieve with his career, and you know, how he thinks this is all going to turn out. And then you have these different points as you go along in the film where you're touching base again, and to see how that like evolves over time, and at the end how it ends up is just like really enlightening. And it's like you really see what the guys were thinking and every step of the way.
Yeah, well, the scenes, the scenes that you mentioned also were. Is that my voice coming back? I mean,
are you on speakerphone now or no? Tony.
Hello?
Tony, are you on a speakerphone now or no?
Yeah, I am.
Can you take it off the speaker?
How's that?
Better. Yeah, that's much better.
I was going to tell you about the opening earlier in the movie, that all the scenes that you see of the guys are actually the first time I've ever met them. Some of them were like the first second. So they're all really like, 10 years before, first ever on camera.
No, like, and they didn't even know you, so they don't even know who the hell you are. You're like some dude, like taking video.
Yeah, Brad, I'm interviewing Brad in the car on the street. And he was very suspicious of me when I interviewed him.
Wow, that is so interesting. That adds like another dynamic to it.
Yeah,
I think the whole thing is super cool. I think that I could see, like, in the movie, for people who have not seen it yet, which, again, we should tell everybody, go to mybigbreakmovie.com. This is really something everybody should have. I'm so excited that I actually, like, have a copy. I have my own copy. It's really cool. And
I saw on the website, too, they have copies signed by Chad Lindberg. So, people might want to get that one now.
You might want to get that one, because Chad Lindberg is, like, the talent. Like one thing I guess I find throughout the whole thing is that I don't know if I just take it for granted that, like, I think Chad, like, and this is, like, really gives props to you, but we've never even met, but, like, I actually, even before I knew who you were and I had you on the radio show, I always thought you were, like, one of the most talented actors of your generation.
Oh, thanks, man.
I mean, like,
Thank you.
like, really, like, you're such a freaking good actor. You have such range, and you don't ever play, like, I mean, you play complicated-ass roles. You know, you never play like the guy in the office who wants to throw a party. You always play like all these roles that have so much like emotion and depth and stuff to them, and it's not like shit that most people could, like, you know, even pull off in a million years. And so, like, to see how throughout the film, like, you know, you have like bouts of like lack of confidence and lack of confidence in your looks and lack of just all the way through the whole thing. It kind of like blew me away, because I like, oh my God, and this is coming from like one of the most talented actors, you know, of a generation, and like wonder what all the people who really suck think.
It means a lot to me, man. It means a lot to me. That's really nice.
And so I think the whole thing is that way, like just to see. Kind of like to see like ups and downs and highs and lows, and when you guys got your first big break, and then like how it went from there, and how, like, you know, sometimes the roles don't come afterwards, and just the whole thing. I think people see Hollywood celebrities and people who make movies and stuff as just always like on the top of the world, and I don't think they ever consider, you know, what happens in the in-between time, or for the years that you don't get to make any movies, or all the different things and what kind of struggles and stuff people actually, you know, go through, because everybody's got a fairy tale idea of it. Oh, you're just like rich and famous, and that's, you know, you live happily ever after, and they don't really see, you know, how difficult all of this is to make it in this business.
Sure, they think it's easy. You know, that it's easy. You're going to come here and get famous and get rich, and it doesn't work that way.
Absolutely. And Tony, for you, first of all, to come out with something like this, because I can see how how agents of anybody who's in this movie would be terrified of this documentary, because like it doesn't. Actually, I don't think it shows anybody in a bad light, but I can see how, like, if I was somebody's agent, I might see it in a bad light. I see it as just real. This is like the way things really go, but I can see how people would totally be shitting their pants.
You know what I think it is about that is because it's like you're breaking the code, because I think there's kind of like a code like of life and a code of Hollywood too, that this is supposed to be magic and magical, and you never show behind the curtain and the inner workings and how it actually does or doesn't work. And this video goes behind the curtain. And so I kind of think that's the threatening thing about it, because nobody comes off in a bad way. Actually, if you're like looking at people's image, but it shows the machine of Hollywood.
It's a machine, and they're being protective of the actors, as that's understandable. I mean, they feel like what are you going to show, or what could happen in the future that may validate what you have in the film. So it's a business also, after all, so they have to be protective.
I think it's fucked up that I get that they want to be protective, but I think everybody has a fantasy of what it's like to be a director or a movie maker or a film star, and like I think everybody goes in it's super naive, and like I think if you're going to be successful, you have to kind of like get a grasp of the whole concept and the overall big picture of what it's going to take to become a success in the entertainment world. And I think it's phenomenal for people to see, hey, it's almost like a warning, like, hey, you're going to go and do this. Like if you're going to do this, you're going to expect that there's lots of things going to come your way that could totally derail you and fuck you up. And this is like, hey, you might not want to you might want to still go on the path, but be aware that there's going to be lots of stuff that can fuck you up, and like go through it with open eyes.
Yeah, it's a cautionary tale of like what to do, not to do, and I think that's what people find fascinating about the film, and that's what I love about it. You do see people make good decisions, bad decisions that they regret, they fix, they take care of things, and then they resurface again, and it's a beautiful ride.
Absolutely.
How has it been for you to see the film, and it has footage from long time ago, over 10 years ago, and you're both in it. Tony is in it as well. How is it for you to see the film now?
Chad?
Well, when I first saw it, like I was in Tony's editing room, and like I had tears, and it was a very intense ride to watch it. And then like the next morning I was cussing him out. I'm like, fuck you, Tony, fuck you. But it's awesome to be able to have that time like documented, because it was such an amazing time, and I learned so much about myself, and I made friends, I made brothers, But now I watch it through the eyes of other people, and like when we, go to a festival with it, or when someone sees it, like you guys seeing it, like I kind of live it through everybody else, and people are really taking something away from it. We've shown it at several festivals. We've had actors come up to us at the end of the movie and be like, you know what, I'm good. Like I thought I wanted to go to Hollywood, and I don't anymore. So it really kind of puts the test to you. It's like, is this what you really want?
Absolutely. And Tony, for you?
Well, it makes you reevaluate. It makes you reevaluate what you want, and if really you're serious about it. And so every time even editing, it's always too intense, especially when you look at stuff like 12, 14 years ago. You're looking at it and go, wow, look how just innocent and simple and fired up, and the dream. It's very moving to me to always see everybody's image, including myself, of just pure dreams.
Pure green.
I think too, one thing I wanted to say is I thought your tone in this film was so good, because I think so many documentaries, it's like, in a way they're not documentaries. Like they come in, they like want to make a certain point, they kind of gear everything in that direction. It's like very self-indulgent kind of thing. And because a lot of times it has narration by Tony kind of just saying what was going on at the time. It was all like kind of objective reporting, fact-based reporting. And that in itself is what made the impression on me, because it's like you accumulated so many facts about the industry in one intense movie. It's like, whoa, I learned so much by watching it.
Yeah, and
without
we
a
wanted
judgment.
we wanted to help people kind of prepare for that. You know, when your dreams come true, because you're dreaming, but you really don't know what's to come in the future. So we wanted to kind of tell a story that is very truthful and at the same time what prepares you for that.
Yeah, I think too, like for me, it just kind of redefined the idea of success, because I think like with our show and how I kind of think about things, like a lot of people think being on top of the world, like you're going to be on every magazine cover, like the whole world, like that is success in the entertainment industry. But I think throughout the film, you kind of redefined success. It's like, if you can be a working actor, if you can make money at this, like you might have that high point where you happen to be for that year or whatever, like the toast of the town, but that will go away. That's not a lasting thing. And so defining success of what is success as an actor or a person working in the entertainment industry for you.
When you watch the movie, it's amazing to see, like, true, you had 3 people in the house that they were, like, really on the cover of magazines, billboards all over Hollywood. They were, like, people would dress them up from head to, they just, like, really reached the stars. And it's fascinating thing to see happening. It's like, it's not a constructed reality like you watch on television where they're really sure we'll have an agent and they will have a chance to, like, sing in front of 1,000 people. These guys really had nothing, and then they reached that pinnacle. So it's kind of very interesting to watch it happening.
Yeah, it was very interesting, and there was a lot to, I'll just say, like, around American Beauty, and I personally, like, loved American Beauty. I loved Wes Bentley in American Beauty, and to see, because I recall my impression of watching that film, what it was for me, where I was in my life, and then to see what was actually going on during that time, and for Wes and for everybody in the house, like blowing up so huge. And also how Wes was like, freaking out about it, really. It's so intense.
90 minutes, 90 minutes. You go to a movie and you come out, and it's like your life completely changes. So it's like, it's literally takes that long. Of course, it takes a very long time to get to make that one movie that you need to break through. But to come out of the screening and just everybody's handing you whatever, anything you want, that's the dream come true.
Yeah.
I also think it's really cool though too about how how 3 of the 4 people, were basically like on top of the world. 3 of the 4 people are still working in the industry through the highs and through the lows. That this is something that they enjoy doing, that they want to do. They continue to do. I'm sure there's going to be lots of more highs and lows as you go along, all the way around.
That's all it is. It's just one constant wave here.
Which, like, I know, like, when are we're going to watch you in a sci-fi movie soon, Chad, right? I forgot when the last time you came on, you said it's coming on soon.
Yeah, towards the end of October.
Oh, it's October. Okay.
27th, I think.
Yeah, so
The Dead Walking, right?
Yeah, The Dead Walking.
Well, now they've changed the name.
Okay.
Get ready for it. Rise of the Zombies.
Okay, Rise of the Zombies. You're going to totally remind us when that's coming on so we can, like, watch it. And, like, my whole point of being, though, is that, like, Wes made a bunch of cool horror movies. I think he went through a lot of his own personal, like, turmoils and stuff, and now, he was just in Hunger Games. And so, like, I think it's all, like, really cool, and Brad's doing his own thing. Everybody's kind of got their thing going. Still working in the industry. Tony, what about you? Because, like, you don't live in Hollywood. Like, how's it all going for you with all of this?
It's great. I live in Boston. I have my studio here, and I am working on, like, a documentary in Stanley Kubrick, and it really hasn't changed. Thank God for the internet and how things just work now. You can really do it from anywhere you want.
Absolutely. I think so, too.
It was so interesting to this film because it talks about, and like you're in the film, Tony, it talks about making of the documentary and like the phases it went through, and that you actually did produce another feature film, which is like included in this film, and how, Hollywood forces that you have nothing to do with, like there's no control over it, how Hollywood forces really sculpt a lot of things, and how at one point in time, there was a lot of super extra, like you were on the cover of magazines for doing this documentary because the guys included in it had reached such a pinnacle of fame. So that made the documentary famous. And then you kind of actually had backlash from that.
Yeah, it's the movie within a movie within a movie.
Yeah.
And again, it's during, before, during, and after, and the effect. And because we also wanted people to, and myself, I wanted, if I was going to, tell the guy's story in a truthful way, I wanted to include myself too, and be truthful about, like, if they're exposed, I'm exposed, and get people also that are interested in filmmaking to learn what it's really like to have that thought and then really act on it and make a film and go to a festival and get an agent, and you see the whole entire ride, just like the actors go through the entire ride in the film.
Right.
And everybody has a different ride. Everyone has a different path, Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone's story is different.
Yeah. And I wanted to say, too, it's beautifully shot, too, this documentary.
Thank you.
I freaking loved it. I'm not really like a documentary person. I mean, honestly, like I'm like a freaking. I like to be entertained without like too much real life shit. I'm all about the zombie movie that's coming out.
I think there's plenty in my big break of also like just like fun, like lots of fun.
Oh no, I
just
think
goofing
there's
around and
I think there's
people
lots of
taking
fun.
their clothes off and running around in the house and stuff. It's hilarious.
I think though the point I was making though is that like it kept my attention. Like I wasn't like, oh my god, when is this thing going to be over or anything like I would normally be if I was like at home watching like the Discovery Channel or something. I'd be like, okay, it's time to change just to Law and Order or something, and so like it kept my attention because it was so fascinating and like. I'm like a fledgling actor. I'm not really looking to be like a Chad Lindberg superstar actor. I just think it's fun. And I like to do it as a part of a way to like have great interview contacts and stuff for the radio show and to really like promote cool things and I think it's like a lot of fun and everything, and so like I really thought it was terrific. And I think the fact that you live in Boston and you can make movies and Chad can go and make movies all over the world and people will see them and it can all get out there because of the internet. I think it's terrific, that you don't have to live in the machine and you can still work in the industry and do things the way you want to do them, just like we're doing here.
Yep, absolutely. And even we always forget about Greg in the movie. He's so funny. It's like the one that didn't make. He's just incredibly also talented and funny.
Yes.
Yeah, and Greg's doing very well right now. He's been filming a lot. He moved back down to California. He's been doing all right.
Oh, okay. Because at the end, it kind of was like Greg was in Canada and working from Canada, but now he's back in California. Good.
He moved back in LA. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay. He's been doing well.
It never ends, It never ends in that business. It's always, people will always go on to like, either they just go on and do more and more. There's, as long as you're alive, life is good.
What was interesting for me, too, is you had some interviews with, like, directors in the film, too, and you really got because it was the 4 actors and what each of them, like, personally struggled with and, like, the boxes that Hollywood has. And one of the directors was saying, like, I've had people rejected because their arms were too skinny or, it's like it's very...
Their nose was too big, etc.
Yeah, it's, like, so specific. And, like Greg is so freaking handsome. And in a way, he kind of saw that as working against him. And, then other people like you, Chad, you were saying how you're not handsome enough, which is like ridiculous, but like leading man handsome has a certain criteria to it. And, it was like all these different dimensions that each person struggled with because of the boxes, like how it's all boxed and defined. And I can kind of see how movies, being products and being the business, and they want it to be that way, but it really shows the effects on people because actual people are auditioning and it's like, oh, I'm sorry, you've got all the talent in the world, but your nose is too big and so we can't cast you as the lead.
It comes down to those things, unfortunately.
I think that's like totally like jacked up though. I can't stand it. Like, and I guess I'm not really anticipating ever being like the Hollywood leading man because I don't have that Hollywood leading look. But fuck them. It doesn't mean you can't
Good
do really
attitude.
cool. It doesn't mean you
Yep.
can't do really cool shit. I mean, just as a I'm gonna toot my own horn. I just got cast in a movie called A Mile in His Soul, and it's about homelessness, and it's shooting in Scotland, and I'm playing the father of the main character. And
That is awesome.
and so they're
Very
flying me
awesome.
to Scotland in November, and like how cool is that? And I think it's like super fun, and I definitely don't have like leading man like good looks. And Chad, like I think like you are like one of the like cool, because I'm all about like independent, cool looking people, and I think that even when I didn't know you, I thought you were cool looking. Now I know you, I think you're like the coolest shit. But like I think that you are leading. I mean, it shows just in your real life, like how beautiful your girlfriend is, like how like you are leading man, dude. Like I think Hollywood's fucked up.
All his girlfriends were like, he was known in the house to be the ladies' man. They were all
Absolutely.
gorgeous girls.
He's
I mean, that's what Chad was known for. And he's just so handsome.
I thought it was cool too that in the documentary it shows like everybody like with girlfriends and stuff. Like that was like a cool thing, and like something
And
for you
naked
guys,
tushes.
and naked, yeah, and the fact that you guys are running around naked a lot, I know that like will make a lot of people happy. Even you guys, when you buy the DVD at mybigbreakmovie.com, it even has a warning on the front for language and nudity. And like these dudes are all like hot, so you get to see all these dudes like running around naked. And if you like Greg Fawcett, you really get to see him naked. He's hung like a horse.
Wow.
Listen to Chad.
So, like Chad yelled at you, Tony. Did any of the other guys yell at you when they saw the film?
No, Chad Yeldon is sweet. Right? Yeah, I mean, it's nauseating, and it's so much fun at the same time, because you're watching yourself, like, back in time saying, like, good stuff and goofy stuff and being very innocent and, like, silly, and it's an intense ride to watch. And I don't think they really remembered what I had of them, because again, I had over like 200 hours. I had boxes and boxes of footage and different tapes and 8 different formats and magazines, and so it was like a big kind of a time capsule that when people watch it, they don't believe that that happened to them, or they said the stuff they said.
You could probably make like 10 more.
Oh man. Sorry, when I told Tony to fuck off, it was out of love. I never like yelled at him. It was just like more like he got me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like I turned his stomach upside down, basically. I mean, and I still, when I watch it, I get nauseated.
It still does.
You know?
Yeah, it still does that. And it does that to everyone that watches it. Everyone kind of like, after they're done watching, they're like, oh, like I kind of got that. And I'm like, yeah, that pit in your stomach.
Yeah. This documentary, it definitely stays with you. I totally want to watch it again. Like, but it had such a visceral impact the first time I watched it. Yeah, definitely.
Well, I want to
It
tell
definitely
everybody.
reminds people of time.
Absolutely. We want to tell everybody, too. We need to follow. You guys can follow My Big Break on Twitter. It's at My Big Break. You can go to mybigbreakmovie.com. You can buy the movie, download the movie. You can buy it off the website. Chad Lindberg will sign it for you.
You can
which is
rent
awesome.
it right there on the website.
You can rent it on the website. Tony's a phenomenal filmmaker. He's working in film now. We want to definitely, whenever anything you have come out, we would love to have you come back, because we think you're terrific.
Stanley Kubrick, like that sounds awesome
Yeah, that
for
sounds
his next
awesome,
project.
by the way. And we definitely think the whole thing is really great. I'm very happy to have been able to see it and have you guys on the show. Chad, as always, dude, like I really do. That's not even like kissing your ass, because before I knew you, I thought you were a really, really great actor. I think that you really got your shit going and together. I think that the documentary is fabulous, and you're fabulous in it. And anything that we can do to ever support any of your work, we're all about it, because we think you totally rock. And,
man, thank you. And I have so much love for you guys. You guys are the most supportive. I mean, I love you guys. So I thank you for always supporting everything I do.
Absolutely, dude. And we want to thank you guys for coming on the show. I also want to thank Elizabeth Yaffe. I don't know if that's how you pronounce her last name. Yaffe? Yaffe, for setting this interview up and contacting us on Twitter to have you guys come on the show. I think it's really, really terrific. So we want to thank her. She produced the film. We want to thank her. I think she's listening, because somebody's tweeting from My Big Break. So I'm thinking that might be her.
Yeah, I think
And we want to thank thank you guys for coming on the
Thank you
show.
so
And
much.
anything that we can do to help promote you or any of your projects or this project some more, you let us know. We're more than happy to do it.
Thank you.
We just got syndicated, so like this show will air next week in Detroit, Kansas City, Indianapolis, and North Carolina.
Wow.
So it'll be airing a bunch more times, and lots of people are going to hear it. And we re-air the show again Fridays from 3 to 5, right?
Yes.
3 to 5, the radio station airs it again on Flashback Fridays. So we want to thank you guys very much. Good luck with the project. Good luck with all the future projects. We're definitely going to watch the new zombie film in October on Sci-Fi Channel for Chad Lindberg. And we want to thank you guys for coming on the Jimmy Star Show.
Thank you so much for
Thank
having
you so
us.
much.
Absolutely,
so
you
much
guys.
fun. Thank you.
All righty, you guys.
Thank
Good
you.
luck with it, and have a great weekend, and thanks so much. See you later.
Bye.
Thank you guys.
Bye.
Bye, you guys.
Bye.
Bye, Tony.
Bye.
Oh, and Audrey here, goodbye from Chad. Bye! Forgot about that, to have him say goodbye to everybody in the chat room. But you guys, hopefully you enjoyed it. Like, they're really, really awesome.
See
and
this film. See
you
this
guys
movie.
really do want to see the film. It's really, really good.
See Chad's ass.
And see Chad's ass.
Yes.
And if you're sleepy, before you need to see the film, one thing you can do before you watch it, take a Dynapep, baby.
Hey.
There you go.
Dynapep, it's the world's first energy microshot, sponsor of the Jimmy Star Show. You can check them out at www.dynapep.com or call them 1-877-DO-DYNAPEP. And no sugar, no carbs.
No crash.
There you go. So check out Dynapep. And also join us on Connect Shot, everybody. Connect Shot's the world's basically first entertainment industry social media network. It's www.connectshot.com. You can create a free profile, hang out with all of us. We're all there. It's a lot of fun. If you do anything in the entertainment industry, you don't have to be an actor. You can be anything that you do, makeup, wardrobe, anything like that that's entertainment industry oriented. You can join us, and I want to have everybody follow me on Twitter. I'm at Dr. Jimmy Star.
I'm at Drew Albright, and check us out on JimmyStarShow.com.
There you go, everybody. Next week, we got a great show for you. We want to thank you for tuning in. Chat room, everybody. Thank you, Leslie. Who's in the chat room? I forgot.
Ken, Shelly.
Oh, Ken Pettigrew, Shelly.
Kelly.
KenPettigrew.com tomorrow night, you guys, 11 p.m. All right, KenPettigrew.com. Everybody, we'll see you next week. Thanks.
So he said, "Salt it, geezer. I'll take you up to the star